Right. Right. This. We've got it. We've seized control again, mate. I'd like to first start off with saying those fucking shady, half-assed attempts at a mutiny are not going to work. They're not going to fly. Like, we're wise to your tricks. Don't think you can just creep in and just come and steal the limelight with your little jams and I read stuff about boats that's on the water on a night time. Don't think this sort of attempted coup or takeover is going to work with me. It might
I
have
saw a
worked.
program yesterday where the guys pronounced coup as coop, and
Coup.
I thought that was yeah. He's like they're trying to do a coup. What? Like he's
What, they
been
got
dead
loads of
serious all the
pigeons?
way through it.
He's got
Yeah,
a
yeah, he's been
shitload
dead
of pigeons.
serious. He's like, yeah, I think they're trying to do a coup.
Um, well, that's what that's what almost happened to us there. That's
Oh,
what
a
we've
bunch of
just
chickens.
managed to seize back control. Unlike, is it Myanmar? I think it's Myanmar at the moment that's going through, or Burma, if that's going through some sort of coup at the moment. That's the one where, you see the video of the lass who was doing like some sort of fitness routine dance, and she didn't see in the background that like people were fucking driving in armed vehicles and tanks and that to take control of the government. She's just doing this
I haven't
blase
seen.
video. Oh, mate, I don't know where you.
That's
I was going to say I don't know where you've been in the last week or so, a couple of weeks, but I know what you've been doing. It's been skinning animals and being and making things out of them and essentially turning them into TikTok content.
yeah.
Are you sponsored by TikTok yet?
No, I'm on the
You must be.
creator thing though. Get a couple of pennies every other day.
Do you, lad? Get in.
Yeah, about 3p.
That's about how much Rankin gets in royalties per year as well from Spotify. Which great industry. The artist industry is a great industry. This week we sort of forgot again what the topic
Yeah.
were. I haven't even sent a notification out. I should probably tell people. But also to clarify, Parallaxed saying that he says I'm quiet. First of all, there we go. Is that how we? I can hear myself now. I can hear myself better now. Parallax saying that we're not on the schedule. I can see us in the schedule. Like we're there, loud and proud, sat there at fucking 7 o'clock. He's taking the piss. Why don't you tell the people about this week's topic?
Well, I'll leave him guessing, and I'll read him a poem by one of the people. I found a nice little poem. I thought we
Oh,
could start off with a bit of class, you know.
mate. I mean, we're all
I'm not going to
about high
read it all
society.
poetic like. I'm just going to read it normally. But
Please do.
you got right. He's after me, riding air currents like an angry balloon, floating. His long hair is parted in front, curled back at the sides. His mean brown eyes stare at me, pin me to the wall where I wriggle. I cannot free myself from Charlie. Bits in brackets. He has no body, and below his eyes, his faceless face is just a tight tissue of skin wrapped around jawbones, rounded in a fleshy chin. I cannot free myself from Charlie. Bodiless river, he rides thunderbolts in hell with the devil, sings doom songs through his mouthless face, then comes to me with bloody instructions. His favourite word is kill. But Charlie is real like you and me. Someday I'm going to waste him. Someday I'm going to kill him. Someday I'm going to puncture him with a knife. He'll shrivel like an airless balloon. But maybe Charlie's going to kill me first. At night I lie with one eye open. I cannot free myself from Charlie. And that's by a guy called Joseph Callinger, who took his lad with him to go and torture people in their houses.
Oh, yeah.
His lad was about 13 years old, and they were trying to force people to bite each other's cocks off in their own front room.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Didn't he used to help lure them there?
He did with the original one, and then they sort of went, right, we've got this down to a T now. We'll try and kill your brother, and then they tried to kill the brother, and that went wrong about 3 times. And they were trying to block him in. I think they tried to block him in a shed or something with a milk crate. And the other kid stood on the milk crate, and the other lad just opened the door and pushed him aside and walked away and thought nothing of it. But then eventually they did work it out and kill him.
But, I mean, that's a learning curve you've got to sort of make, really. When you're failing to kill someone a second time, you really got to think, right, third time we've got to fucking nail this.
Well, I think it was the fourth attempt they did it.
It's not very like the amount of people that can kill someone by fluke, and you can't do it trying 3 times.
In
Like
it with your own lad as well. It's
you've
got to
got,
be easier with your own kin.
it's a 2-man job, and you've got that family bond. So you've sort of got that intuition that you've passed down through your genes. So you've got that understanding with each other.
They know what's going on. They're like, smells like Dad's gonna kill me again.
Oh yeah, man. And the other brothers aren't fucking getting in on this, you know. Yeah. I'd sort of question. I'd sort of go to a different career path. I'd maybe learn a trade.
I'd move out. Well, he did have a trade. He was a cobbler. Not the son. I mean, he would eventually have become a cobbler, I imagine, because Joseph was adopted when he was a kid, and then forced by a pair of Austrians, like getting whipped on the dick and stuff, and punched in the balls, and told that his dick has demons in. But now the hospital's gotten the demons out of his dick when he was about 8 years old or so, and then they just carried on torturing him basically to make him better at making shoes.
How good were his shoes? Out of interest.
I think he was quite good at it. He didn't really have much else going on in his life. Every now and then they'd let him go to the cinema on a fucking Saturday, but that didn't happen until he was about 17.
You've got to imagine.
But until then, all of his time was shoes, life and soul.
You've got to imagine, like, you think about the regimes that like top level athletes and that go through in order to get their, like, to the peak, like the best athletes. Like if you look at fighters and how much like regimented exercise and how much they get drilled to make themselves the perfect thing, and it takes ages and ages, and they've gone through like such strict training camps, and then this lad's gone further, really, let's be honest. I don't think I've ever heard of any sort of training, even like for the Olympics or anything like that, and they're well serious. Like, I've never heard of anyone sort of having to, in any way, damage or mutilate the genitals in order to get some sort of, like, gain. So if they were doing that for the strict purpose of helping them get better at making shoes, just how effective was it? Like, I know there's the crimes and that, and that's important, and yeah, it's bad, blah blah blah. Yeah, he should get a slap on the wrist. That's fair. But how good were his shoes? There was science done there. What happened at the end?
What happened at the end? He ended up in Nick, and they thought he was paranoid schizophrenic because he could see this floating head.
Well, that's a side effect. But what happened in the end with his shoemaking? You're diverting away from what's a very important topic.
I'm not too sure what he did. Well, we went with the shoes. I'm not sure what style of shoes he was making either. I think he either died in the 60s or in the 80s. So I imagine these shoes were, a lot of leather, probably before the advent of like plastic shoes and that. It was a good trade to be getting him into. But I can only hope he was good at it. Because, well, then again, though, maybe he was just shit at it and it pissed the parents off. They're like, look, we've spent a lot of money adopting you, giving you a bedroom in there and buying these, fucking metal canes so we can whip you on the balls. These are expensive. Fucking copper's not cheap. And then he's fucking, he just sort of wasting his life making these shit shoes. And they're like, what are you doing? What are you playing at?
Does this happen to every cobbler?
I don't know.
I honestly thought
the movie guy, is it Jude Law who's a cobbler, or is it Denzel Washington or Jude Law? Not that they're really like. I don't think you can really get them confused if you was to have them like stood side by side in it. But
no, you're right.
I know it. I can't remember who it is.
Training Day would be a very different movie if Jude Law played that. Playing Denzel Washington's role. I think it'd be a very different film. I don't think it will work. Yeah, I'm quite transfixed on how good these shoes were. Timpsons, this is going to be only related to anyone from the UK who is this, which is fucking everyone. But like Timpsons, the cobbler, like that's been well known for employing like convicts and people like that, and it's a place to like put people who are sort of not getting employed by other places back on their feet and teach them skills to like
with
build them up
spare
again.
Keys, mate. That's mad.
Yeah, man, all them keys, like it's ridiculous. Oh, yeah, what's that? You want that? Yeah, no problem, mate. I'll just make 2 copies of that, lad. I'll see you later. But
I only wanted one. Oh yeah, but I'll keep a spare here just for you.
Yeah,
so you don't have to have it cut.
What they're doing essentially, like, if the training to be a cobbler involves all this stuff that essentially resulted in Callender becoming a fucking murderer, then you're taking people from prison that might have just committed low-level crimes and basically upgrading them through the Timpsons murder college, basically.
I guess, yeah. Well, you are.
Basically,
That's all. Yeah.
someone should really be investigating Timpsons. We've been thinking all this time that they're this really like ethical, like morals, just a good business, which you never see in this day and age of capitalism. It's like just a good business. We'll give people a second chance, and they're just creating fucking killers, mate.
And look, it's the trophy inscriptions. I blame the trophy inscriptions. Like those should be forced to be like, oh yeah, well done, Jimmy, you won football. Again, I'm not very sporty, but you know, like being forced. Imagine that that's
I
your
love
job.
winning
You're like,
football. I'm renowned for
I hear
winning
it's something
football,
that happens with sporty people. They
mate.
occasionally win football.
I can't walk through my village without going, "There's Jimmy. He won football." I'm like, lads, just
You're
honestly
known for
keep
it.
it down.
See what I mean? And that's the thing. You're known for that then. And every time you see that fella in Simpsons, the ex-convict, he's like, oh, you're right, Jimmy the football. And you've got a nickname then.
Jimmy the
And then
football.
he knows this
Oh.
over you now. He's got power over you, and that's not what you want in like a murderer having power over people again. It's slippery slope, innit?
Yeah, you end up being Callenger's son, or his,
Yeah,
and
he
then the
adopts you.
murdered son. What a great
Well,
way!
he could even adopt you. That's what's weird because he
He's
said he
not
was a
adopting me.
1,000 years old, and he was last time he was a butterfly, but he was 1,000. He's 1,000 years old, and he's now got to kill 3 million people in order to so that he can then become God.
Those
So
are
if he's
still
going to
rookie
become
numbers.
God, he could adopt you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, those are still rookie numbers compared to some of the big hitters like
Well, no, not as a
Mao
first attempt.
Stalin.
That was his first goal. They had 5-year plans.
Well, he just did it in one fell swoop. He
Well,
just went
he
out in the
figured
street
out.
one day with a scythe and just started fucking swinging.
Well, he was kind of biblical with it. He wasn't like straight off with that. He thought that he had to sacrifice one of his own to prove to, I think it was Charlie at that point, or maybe the voice in his head that he thought was God before Charlie appeared, which Charlie being the floating head that he was talking about in the poem. And he thought that he could fucking kill his own son, that'd prove it, that he could kill people, and then he'd just be able to go and kill 3 million people before killing the rest of his family and himself.
It's
So he was nice.
ambitious.
He
You
kept
got to
kind
give
of a
him that.
family man, you know. He wanted his family around with him.
Yeah, but he's
Was
ambitious
to
as
the
well.
end.
You can't fault his his drive. Like he definitely wanted. He
1
was
to
like,
3 million.
I'm not just gonna set myself a low target because anyone can achieve one or two. Like I'm going for figures, so I'm
An
gonna
idiot with a
go.
bus.
Yeah, man. Like I say, you could do that by accident. Like
Yeah.
you can, anyone can get those numbers. A crash, yeah, a crash. If you crash your plane, if you're a pilot, you can wipe out 300 people by accident.
Donuts on a motorway. You know, spinning round on a motorway. That's going to do some damage.
Yes. I don't.
Anyone can do that. Well,
Anyone
I can't do a
can.
donut, but you can try. Try
Yeah.
and flip your car and you take someone out and there you go. Not
yeah,
3 million
it's
though.
definitely a tangent I didn't expect. I mean, I've never seen it. I've never seen anyone do it. Anyone can do it. I never have seen it happen. But it's not. It's not beyond the realms of fucking possibility. I'll give you that. But yeah, it was like he set a target that was like, I'm gonna at least make I'm gonna put a stake in. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not gonna be top 10 yet. Not gonna be top 20. But I've got time. I've got centuries to go yet. Got the whole dark ages to get through. Don't worry about that. Like, I'm just gonna start with this figure. That's a big number for if he was 1,000 years old. Like, where were that many people to wipe out at once?
Well, in fucking 1960 odd. I think he'd been biding his time. He's like, right, there's enough.
Right, so he'd been waiting like almost 1,000 years to start killing.
Well, yeah, he had to get his butterfly phase out of the way, didn't he?
That's a fucking old butterfly. I honestly didn't think
How
they
many
lived that
times
long.
was he a butterfly in that time, though? If he was a butterfly for 1,000 years, that's torture in itself.
Yeah, it's a nightmare because they're just fragile little cunts. That's why he's probably so angry. Loads of people have touched his wings over the years, and like everyone knows, if you touch a butterfly's wings, you touch the magic dust that falls off, and they can't fly anymore. Or at least that's what you used to be told at like all those stupid places where butterflies were in like hot rooms. I can't remember the name of the places, but they were in hot rooms that also had plants. I can never remember the place. I used to go to a place called Butterfly World. Did you ever go to Butterfly World?
I think I've been to Butterfly World. Is that in
Yeah.
Wales? There
No,
was one. I know there's one in North Wales. There's a butterfly farm down here, which was kind of underwhelming.
no. There's one that's
It's full
that
of
was.
otters,
There's
which was
one
weird.
Butterfly World was like sort of in between me and you, or old you, like Manchester. Like was around,
Oh, right.
was in between there. I'm sure it was like Preston or somewhere.
I might have been. Oh, I might have been then if it's round
Preston.
there. I've been to a butterfly. I've been to. It's making me think about it. I think I've been to 3, maybe 4 different butterflies, something
Cool
or others.
lad. He's a bit of an
Yeah.
expert. Did you ever go to the creepy crawly shows where people would like bring loads of, like basically loads of like exotic animals to usually some sort of leisure centre or a community centre, and they'd have them as like a show, and it was like almost a trade show for buying and selling exotic animals, but then you could walk around and have a look. Like fucking all sorts of lizards and snakes and but anyway, getting
We
back
had
to
a
butterfly.
hardware shop that used to sell lizards. I just used to go in there after school sometimes. They used to
That's
sell
weird.
ducklings, cats,
That's
the occasional dog, chickens, lizards, tortoises,
that's
snakes,
like a fucking
all sorts.
up,
Fish, even at one point.
that's an up and coming serial killer's dream.
In
You
it,
can
gaffer
literally
tape, rope,
buy the you
lump
can
hammers.
pick the victim and then pick the tools at the same place. That's them and cobblers need looking at. Look at them both, like cobblers and hardware stores. It's both fixing shit. Like they're doing the most damage.
Yeah.
I think we should have
Well,
all
that's
home
quite
bases and
ironic,
focuses on lockdown. But anyway, getting back to butterflies, everyone knows,
Yeah.
or at least I'm sure you were just told that so you didn't fucking touch them. That if you touch a butterfly's wings, you get rid of the magic dust that's on its wings so it can't fly anymore. I think it's just they're fragile as fuck and you put
Yeah,
your fat
stop
fingers through
manhandling
as
the
a
fucking
fucking
wings.
child. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop
But-
torturing the fuckers.
But he's just had like 600 plus years of people just knocking the magic dust off his wings. He's like, do you know what? I'm going to get these cunts back one day. And when I do, like, they're going to suffer so much. So he's just been
Well,
trying to...
what if he lived as a daddy longlegs though, or housefly for 900 and odd years, and then he was the butterfly, and when he was the butterfly, he realised kids don't rip your legs and wings off.
Why didn't we bring Calendar up during fucking reincarnation week? This is brilliant. Like, this would have
Because I
been...
don't think I have full control over what I think of in my head, bro. To be honest, that's why these are so difficult.
It's
Man.
all right. You know, you're not the only one. Don't worry about it. But he's someone that's like he's gone the reverse. So he argues against reincarnation. He started as a meek and mild, the most gentle, one of the most gentle
Yeah.
creatures on the planet, harming no one, helping the world by helping plants just fucking reproduce and just keeping the world green. And he evolved and he just reincarnated up and up and up to a cunt, like a horrible murderous cunt.
Well, no, to like a child abuse victim, and that led him to that. That was his evolution. That
Well,
maybe
very
that was
true.
his chrysalis. Maybe the child abuse was his chrysalis. He was so used to life as a butterfly,
And he was
and then he
beaten.
sort of
Well, that's
blossomed as a mentalist.
well, that is sort of what happened. Like when a butterflies go in their cocoons, they're sort of jellified down and they're reduced down to a completely different state, and then they build back up as a butterfly. So maybe, perhaps, like his abusers were just trying to beat him down to that pulp that they knew he had to become
primordial
in order to
goo,
in
yeah.
order to spread his fucking wings and come out again as a massive like big butterfly fucker.
Possibly. Imagine how
Um,
disappointed they were then when he started fucking beating his kids and his missus.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh shit, we've probably
Oh, I
gone
thought we
down
was
the
going to
wrong
have a
route."
Red Admiral here, guys. The biggest one we've ever seen. It's just a dickhead who kicks his kid in the head.
Oh, look at that! We've just created a killer. Oh, I mean, you win some, you lose some. You can't. Not
Well, there's
everyone's.
another thing though about murder, isn't it? Are they created not like nature and nurture, but literally created by like MK Ultra and that? What's your thoughts on that?
In some cases, I mean, there have been several instances where there've been relations between known killers and MK Ultra, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Like, and that's not like conspiracy theory. That's proven. Like, it's documented.
There's at least connections. It doesn't mean that they did it, but yeah. I know what you mean.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying that there's people who have committed acts or killed. There are killers that have been found to be involved in the MK Ultra programs. I'm not saying that that's definite, but you've got to think like the entire purpose behind programs like that was to push people to those limits, to see what they could trigger people to do, to see what sort of control they could have over people. So it makes a fucking lot of sense that that's going to have long-lasting effects. When you do any sort of psychological tests on people, like imagine the Zimbardo tests when they did the Stanford
The
prison
doll.
experiment.
Oh, the Zimbardo's the one where the fucking you're a prisoner, you're the
Yeah,
warden.
yeah.
Uh,
Like imagine the lasting, and that they only had to stop. They stopped that after like a fucking week
yeah.
because of how far it had gotten, and like people came out of that with like lasting issues. You come out with shit like that with PTSD, and that was from something that was relatively mundane. All
Yeah.
he did was try a role play. Like
Yeah, innit? And
they
he
were
got
giving
really
people
into it.
fucking pipettes of LSD and sticking them in rooms with like fucking strobes and shit and feeding them all sorts of propaganda and stuff like that. Like that's got to fucking set some triggers off in people. Like if you come out of that and just go back to life, you're gonna blow up at a later date. Like the fact that those people were sort of just let loose after and weren't maybe maintained or checked in on once in a while is it's a tad worrying, isn't it?
It is. But what if that was on purpose though, so that they could spread their insanity? So they could just be like, you go that way, you go that way. And that's where you sort of got the idea of like Arkham Asylum in Batman. What if that's what that is? Because the stories of Arkham is like most of the people that work there are mental, and the patients are even more mental.
Yeah.
So that could be where that story sort of came from with that. There's an idea, there's a concept, and then they released them back into the city, and they spread and make new mentalists and weirdos and that, and it's at least going to affect the kids, like the kids of those people who, and they're going to be like, oh, you don't understand, you weren't there, surrounded by loads of like fucking Vietnam veterans who are just eyeballing them like, what the fuck you on about? So, oh yeah, I spent a week in a warehouse that was painted to look like a prison, and just, oh, you won't believe the week I had. Saying
Yeah.
that to a guy with no arm and like fucking burns all across his face.
Thing is though, like they're both equally as legitimate. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah.
as different as it may seem, like they're literally they could be equally legitimate on the damage they can do to someone. It's insane. But yeah, that answers a lot. I mean, the nature nurture argument is interesting when it comes to killers because it like there's no set trend. Like you've got people that have come from extremely affluent and caring backgrounds and all this, and like that have turned to commit murder. You've got people that have come from like they were say lower income backgrounds and shit like that, but have still had like good parents. They've grown up to commit murder. You've got people that have obviously come from like bad backgrounds that have probably got a higher propensity to commit murder, but there's no set trend for whether it's someone's born, made, or like taught to be that way.
No, and they're still trying to prove it, innit? Like I was reading before about this guy that's got a portable MRI scanner, which I mean, portable's a weird word for it because it's literally like it is the biggest lorry I've ever seen in my life. Like
Yeah, it's just
probably like
Arctic.
half the length of the Coca-Cola one again, like the one that parks up in Morrison's car park and that.
Yeah,
And
I do. Yeah.
yeah, like half the size of that again, and parks up outside prisons, and they drag or coerce or allow them to come into the lorry or whatever it is. I don't know if it's forced. I didn't understand that bit. But basically, the gist of it was,
Imagine that.
go on.
Imagine just being nabbed and stuck in an MRI scanner. One of the fucking most. Yeah. You've never been in
What
one
is this? What
before.
is this?
You've
All
never
these
been.
people in
This is
like,
good. This
yeah.
is free. People pay thousands of pounds for this, and you're getting this for free. Stop complaining. Ah!
And they're all mental off the meds they've been forced to have. So they're like, we're going to look inside your brain. You think he's had a fucking chainsaw or a drill. And you think, have you got any metal teeth? Yeah. Oh, it's going to fucking hurt, mate.
Yeah, this is gonna knock you. um,
But yeah, them scans that they did, they proved they did it, and then another person repeated the test on different people,
right.
and they categorized them as someone who's committed basically a violent homicide where it was premeditated, where they've killed people but it was accidentally, and people that haven't killed people, and then there was a control group of just fucking random prisoners, and they found out that there's less grey matter in the brains of people that committed violent homicides, even compared to people that killed people like in a car crash or by mistake. But in the areas of like rational thinking and that, and in the but though then in the other person who did it all by mistake, they've got more damage in the amygdala, like where the emotions are and that.
Yeah,
Because obviously that was traumatic for them as well, whereas the people who plan to murder aren't really traumatized by it, but their brains have grown in a different way, and they could see it across the board in two separate experiments by two completely different groups of people,
that's
which I thought
interesting
was
as
mad.
fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
extremely. Because I mean, did that happen beforehand or as a result from?
Well, for the experiments themselves, they removed anybody who'd had a head injury or anything like that as well. So
Well,
no
yeah,
one that
you'd
had
have
had a
yeah,
head
that would
injury,
make sense. You'd
they
have
got
to
rid
do
of
that.
them. Well, you'd think that they'd try to see though, while they've murdered someone and they've got the head injury, is their brain different? But they didn't even do that. They're just like, yeah, we're not going to use you then.
Yeah, well, I wonder if that's because there's so many variations of brain injury and head injury that like
Uh,
it could impact in so many different areas that would be too much of a search or too much of a fucking web of a maze of results itself to try and get through before you could just determine whether that was a factor or not.
yeah, I guess because like strangulation and a bump to the head will do brain damage in it, but
Or
so
even
would
in different
partially
parts of the
counting.
brain. Yeah, or in different parts
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
brain. So
yeah.
you I suppose maybe that's why it wasn't tested. But for them still to be able to sort of find there was a definite sort of correlation there is it still doesn't prove like in no way nature or nurture.
No, no. Well, nurture's still got an element on it. Like going back to Callinger, he had a shit time of it growing up. Even to the point where he was raped by like five adults at once, and he wouldn't tell his parents because he knew if he went and told his parents, they'd punish him for it.
I was a weak ass bitch.
Well, I don't know if he was though, because like
No, obviously
he
not.
didn't
Like,
top himself, did he? You know what I
no,
mean?
no,
Like
that's
he
it.
put up with it all.
And he, yeah, and I mean, he had the motivation to try that fourth time, kill
Yeah,
his son.
yeah.
So I mean,
You can't
he
say he was
wasn't weak ass
depressed.
bitch. No,
Paranoid schizophrenic, but that and depression aren't synonymous.
no, no, no. I mean, there could be for some very happy paranoid schizophrenics, which is probably
Mm.
scarier.
Nah, they're just the people that you look at and nod. Like, all right, mate.
Just
You're good,
don't
aren't you? The one
engage.
that's angry across the room, you don't even look at.
No, no, no. You just simply do not
Change
engage.
the pub. Yeah. Especially if there's
um,
two in there, one of each end of the spectrum. You'd be like, oh, this is a weird one, isn't it? It must be
that one will
something in a
play itself
taxi.
out. That one will play itself out. No, but they'll cancel each other out
Just
in a
one
way
brings
that
each other down, the other one down, the other one lifts the other one.
you just plateau and have a really good night. Nothing happens, and it's weird because it's the first time for either of them that nothing's happened. They're not getting in a taxi at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're usually getting in the back of a van.
Mm. But now they can share a taxi. Yeah.
Yeah, or they've robbed the van.
Yeah. Taking turns in the back of it.
I've never usually got the keys for these cuffs. How do they feel on you, Mr. Officer?
Just to a pillow.
Who's your favourite
My favourite, I
killer?
probably
If you
would
had to have
say,
one, I wouldn't say a favourite, but most
yeah,
interesting.
favourites are weird. Like, not. We're not going off like statistics, are we? We're not saying, we're not going to be like this is the best.
Nah.
It's more of like who's. For
But
me,
there's
it's
some
who's the most
interesting-
mental, and that's probably why I brought Callinger up because I find him funny, which is grim, but like he just makes me laugh.
What do you think about Kaczynski?
Ted
The-
Kaczynski, he's up there, isn't he?
He's
like
a fucking clever bloke,
guy,
though.
uni bomber and that fucking.
That's a
He
weird.
did some work. But what I don't understand with him is his victims that he had because they seemed so precise. Like it was a plan to, maybe I just can't remember what the plan was that he had. But I knew I think he wanted to disrupt some form of industry.
He was basically taken. He was taken out. His targets were what he deemed to believe, like either authorities or services or businesses that were complicit in what he saw as the devolution of mankind through technological advances to some degree, the way society was headed, and he saw massive problems with it, and he was basically attacking the system. Like he was attacking targets that he believed were contributing towards the system's end to mankind as he saw it, or the start of the end. He's a fucking see, and this is another like fascinating thing. Like you can get people from all sort of intellectual backgrounds that end up becoming like murderers and killers. And his is one that I found he was doing it to serve a point, but it was if he didn't do it that way, people were never going to listen. But then when he started doing it that way, people were never going to listen. Do you know what I mean?
They were never going to understand.
They were never going to listen to him if he proposed his ideas as he was, because what sort of platform did he have to do it? Although he was a very intelligent bloke.
It would have literally just been like the weirdo at the back of a bus going, "Look at me etchings."
There's a very intelligent.
But instead of his etchings or drawings, it's.
I can't remember what jobs he had, but like it was even his like I'm sure he was quite like intellectual in his professions.
No, he was a
he was a professor, wasn't he?
IQ wise,
I'm sure he was a professor at university.
I'm not sure if he was a professor or if he tried to get the job as a professor and he got beat because wasn't that one of his victims?
Possibly.
And he sent.
And then
he sent to somewhere he was affiliated with education wise.
Right. But it's mad that like he then thought, right, well, the real way to get my idea across, they weren't going to listen to us without the killing. So what I'm really going to do is the people will definitely they always listen to someone who kills a lot of people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry out something. Look at the IRA, right? Everyone listen to the IRA. Yeah, they blew up some buildings. Everyone listen to them. Look at there's lots of bombings. Like look at us, and we bombed Germany. Like we weren't just like, hey, will you stop now? They're like, yeah, we'll definitely stop now. You've just blown up a school full of kids. That's definitely a reason for us to stop attacking you. Like,
well, let's just do it at night time when the kids are at home.
Honest.
Basically what they did.
Yeah, I know. But essentially, like, at what point did he think, as a very intelligent man, they'll definitely listen if I start blowing people up?
There's got to be a mad chain of thought, and there's like a fucking just got properly lost on a tangent in his own head.
But he seems to be an extremely logical man and not an emotional
he's not logical at all. He used the American Postal Service to try and bomb people. I use the American Postal Service regularly to try and send things over there, and the amount of fucking complaints I get. Oh, it's not here. Oh, it's next door. Oh, my neighbour won't let me have it. They're not like that's not a wise.
Maybe they weren't his targets. Maybe they just dropped them off in completely
FedEx
different places.
Or whatever's just there, like shaking.
It was like
going,
this was fucking intended.
This
was intended for JP fucking Morgan. I'm supposed to be taking down all the banking elites here, and you're just fucking it up. I didn't mean to blow up that place. It's done nothing wrong. Now I've got to pretend like I did.
There's a guy who's going to make a shop called Argos, and I can't fucking stand the idea of it. I don't want to read when I'm shopping.
It's got to go. Actually, I hope they can't, post-corona, you can't bring Argos back. Because all that time, everyone was touching the same Argos catalogue. How fucking minging was that? And sharing pens. Can't share pens. No pens in bookies anymore.
What did he do in bookies then?
I don't know. I don't go in bookies.
A little bit of finger paint or something.
Yeah, it's probably what most of them can manage. But yeah, you can't have Argos in a post-COVID society. That has to go. If you've got, I just want to say, I am not a financial advisor, but if you've got shares in Argos,
put them into Littlewoods as soon as you can.
Fucking sell them. Yeah, I'd get them across to Little. Yeah, that's a good offer.
That's like a Postal again though. Mate, going Postal. Have you seen that game? That's a fucking...
No.
Oh, mate, you can fucking piss on people and set them on fire, and that you're just a postman having a bad day.
Is that a bit like Falling Down? Have you seen the film Falling Down?
No.
It's one of the greatest films of all time. Michael Douglas, although he's very easy to take the piss out of and give stick, in Falling Down, is fucking incredible. It's essentially a bloke having a bad day that just gets worse. Then it transpires that like he's trying to see his kid the entire time. He's trying to get home to see his kid for his kid's birthday, to say happy birthday. I'm pretty sure he gets fired from work at the very start, or something bad happens at work. He gets in the car, he gets on the highway, and it's LA, so nothing's moving. So he abandons the car, and he just leaves it in the traffic, and he starts walking, And then he ends up fighting with various gangsters, and he, a little bit like GTA, he levels up his weapons along the way. Like, first he's got, like, a hammer, and then he's got, like, a gun, and then he's got, like, a machine gun, and, like, it just levels up and levels up. And it transpires that, like, he's not with his wife. They've divorced, and she's like, don't fucking come and see this kid. You're not allowed near the kid. And he's like,
Not with all these fucking hammers.
I'm coming to say happy birthday to my child. And she's like, don't come and say happy birthday to this child. It's not going to go well for you. But I'm selling it greatly, but you should definitely watch it because it's unbelievable. And it's one of the most if not the most relatable film I've ever watched in my fucking life. There's been so many times when I've been in a traffic jam on the way out of a job being like, yeah, I just want to fucking ditch this now and just fucking walk and walk and walk until my heart just stops.
Well, we'll end it there, guys.
Yeah, that's all. But then thank you very much. I will come back next week. When you said it's been therapy for you last few weeks, this is me today, mate. Right? I'm sick of jobs. I'm walking out. That's it. I'm going to shoot someone to go and see a child that I don't even have. That's the plan.
Not even my kid.
I'm going to get that child. I'm going to steal that child. I'm going to beat its cock off, and then it's going to make shoes.
It's just beating off a kid in a car. Just you get nicked for that, mate.
Yeah, you definitely. And then when the copper comes,
they
why
didn't
you
even have any birthday cards in the garage? Just these fucking out of date Valentine's Day cards. So I have to get him one of them.
When the copper comes, like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, I'm teaching him how to make shoes.
Yeah, this is the best way to make shoes. Obviously.
This is the cobbler's way.
Them shoes look like they need mending.
Yeah.
Come on, lad, fix his shoes.
He does
just
a grand
like
job.
A weird little train coming out the fucking car window.
Does a grand job, and the copper's just like, "Hey, on your way, lad." Sterling effort, absolutely sterling effort.
He goes home and tosses his kid off. Going, I know exactly what you're gonna do. I know you got no direction. No, all you do is sit at home all day.
You're gonna be a cobbler, my son.
You're not being a copper. It's too dangerous. You're gonna be a cobbler. Everyone will think it's the same job when they hear us because of our accents being so thick. No one's gonna know the difference between a cobbler and a copper.
The thing is, in that household, both are killing people. But the irony being, the cobbler probably less discriminately.
Well, just because he's just fucking killing random people, or the shoes are false.
We've already established that cobblers are a fucking training ground for murderers. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you know,
and coppers love like.
Remember a callback.
Coppers do enjoy killing people.
And coppers enjoy killing people, but the joke there was that coppers are only going to shoot certain types of people, whereas killers are more likely to kill a wider array of people.
They'll see colour,
what we've done right here,
they'll see gender.
What we've done right here, people, for those in the know, is we've deconstructed a joke, which, as we know, is by far the funniest form of comedy. Telling a joke and then dialing back and picking it apart as if no one here understood the joke, or everyone but Jack. It's the funniest. It's by far the funniest part of comedy. No,
forgive me. The sort of lore of this episode's been a bit difficult to follow. We've
essentially just dragged out Callinger for a long time, though.
Yeah. But that leaves us open for murderers for another episode. We should probably talk about another one.
I've got a point. I do have a point. I talked about it on an episode of my show a couple of weeks ago, but I never put it up because it was a fucking shit episode. So here we go. Killers, like a lot of them, obviously since criminal profiling especially, get caught through exactly that. The criminal profile, the MO. Like their MO, their target, the places they kill, shit like that. And most of them get caught, or at least become closer to getting caught by the fact that they've got similar patterns. The key to a good serial killer, and this is something that the Night Stalker did, is not having the same pattern for your killings, not having the same sort of victim. Like, he killed old, young, male, female, he strangled, he shot, he stabbed, like that. And I'm not trying to sell some sort of criminal handbook here or promote some sort of we're not financial advisors and we're not criminal advisors either, but if you were going to become a successful serial killer, I know part of it has to be like they're trying to satisfy certain desires they've got, but Do you not reckon there's a point, if you're going to be some sort of logical serial killer, if there is such a thing, that like you think, I'm going to stay ahead of the law, so I'm going to switch up my techniques? Or do you think that they're dead set on this like particular fantasy, that they're willing to risk getting caught repeating that same fantasy again and again, rather than, even though they know that like if they could switch it up, it would be harder to find?
No, I reckon the second part, mate. I reckon they're properly keen on that one idea, and that's why you have like that. You had I was gonna say Peter Stringfellow, but it's another Peter S.
It's
Peter
not Peter
Sutcliffe
Stringfellow.
strangling people.
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean, Peter Stringfellow he's possibly done more damage to more women over the years than Peter Sutcliffe has, but he hasn't been convicted of it.
Oh.
But Peter Sutcliffe,
he?
I mean, there's
Strangling and hammers, wasn't it?
strangling. You've got, I mean, well, not the all. There's lots who had similar patterns, like Dahmer. Dahmer had quite similar with the techniques that he was using again and again. Gacy did the same thing again and again. Gacy he was like pretending to show lads a magic trick with handcuffs, and then got them to try and do it. And then once he put the handcuffs on, like, you fucking idiot! You just put handcuffs on for a greasy old man. What you doing? Like, a lot of them did, but like, it's interesting to see those. And this is why I thought the Night Stalker was particularly interesting, because it's rare you see one, like, people that have managed to vary it, and makes you wonder what his fantasy was, because it wasn't as if he was pursuing the same situation every time.
See, I don't think he had a fantasy. I don't think Richard Ramirez was the so-called Night Stalker. I've thought with that one it was like a group of people
Really?
working because just different aspects of it, man. It just seems like, because it seems like there are some similarities, but amongst the victims, but not amongst all of them. But if you was to separate them into like a Venn diagram, there's probably going to be like 4 or 5 different groups of people.
It has been shown that like some of the ones that were thought to be contributed to and were actually to other people, I believe, because there were quite a few serial killers operating in LA at that time. Like, so I think there has been cases where there were possible victims they thought that were Ramirez that were actually belonging to someone else.
Yeah. Well, it's good for both sides, though, isn't it, as well, for them to do that, both sides of law and order, because the police get to file away things, the victims' families get a little bit of closure, although it's probably not helpful if it's not true, and the actual murderer gets to be like, well, I already killed 15 people, but everyone thinks I did 30. I'm going to get a table to myself in the canteen.
I don't know if that's the case, though. I think
Well, probably dependent on who they've killed. Like, if they've killed 30 kids, that's probably only like the equivalent of killing, 3 women?
What, in size or weight?
Well, just in value. So like crime-wise,
I think children are probably more valuable than women.
Not in crime. Like, other criminals aren't gonna like that. But they'd
They're not
probably
gonna like that.
prefer
They're
a woman
probably
killer than a kid killer.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. I mean,
That's
but if
what
you
I'm trying
kill
to put it out
30 children, I don't think anyone's coming near you, because you're a different level of psycho. Like,
Or you're just
even
a fucking angry school bus driver.
Yeah,
Or
you
you're
just
a
had enough.
teacher. Just
had enough.
Just a bad teacher.
Yeah, just fallen asleep at the wheel one day and gone, oh shit, I'm on the M1 the wrong way, but I'm doing donuts.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And see, guys, that there is another callback.
I'm trying to think of other, like, I'm trying to say interesting killers. They're all interesting, but like the bait ones do me fucking head in, because I've seen so much about them.
What would you do?
I would definitely, my expert opinion, right?
He's pulled himself closer to the mic, guys, and he's got a little smile. Not often you see him smile.
It's fucking not at the moment, mate. I tell you that now. This is a rarity. You've lost us. I'm right here.
Oh, you're back now.
Where did I go?
You're moving fucking. You sort of froze on the screen and then stopped making any noise.
I think that's your end, not my end, mate, because everything's coming through fine here. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with what's going on. I'd first of all do exactly that. I'd switch my MO. I wouldn't have the same thing every time, and I wouldn't have the same person. The ideal thing, if you're going to kill someone, right, you can't stay close to home. You've got to go.
Don't shit on your own doorstep.
Exactly.
That's good advice if you're going to rob a car or an house.
It's good advice with anything. Yeah. You don't shit where you eat.
No.
So you go far away. You go to locations where, and first of all, you turn all electronic devices off all the time. Let's not be silly and take your phone places. You don't need that shit. If you need that, take a burner phone that's not connected to the internet. Come on, we're not daft. You go to locations that are miles away and you take out completely random people that you have no correlation to whatsoever. Like, and you do it in circumstances where it can only be viewed as completely random because that's exactly what it is. And then you never go to that same place again. Ideally, if you've got the money, you travel to different countries and do it. You
But
can't.
imagine seeing that though when you get to the killer's house and on the wall where they've got, the fucking serial killer nutter wall. And he's just got a map of England and all these little red lines on little roads and cul-de-sacs to show where he can't go again.
It's just the markers. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Crossing them out like a bingo board.
A new theme park opens that you really want to go to. You're like, it's only 8 miles away from where I fucking shot Lorraine. Well, it's right near where I shot Lorraine. I can't go there again. Jesus.
There's another mad thing, man. They always remember the names and faces.
Yeah, well, it's a very personal thing. This is another thing. If you can, don't get attached. But I suppose that is the point in a killer. Like, that is it. They're very attached. Like, those people are the only others apart from the killer who are experiencing that moment with them. So it's as close. It's probably a closer bond than they've had with most people ever. I imagine with someone it's very cold and like they treat them like meat, and there's nothing at all because that's exactly what they are up here. They've already completely disassociated them from being human, and that's exactly why they are killing them. In the cases of people that have had those instances where it's like, it's always fucking blokes wanting to kill women, being like they're evil, like you got to get these ones off the street, they're witches or shit like that, and like their feelings been like they're demons or they're whatever. They've already disassociated those people from being human. There's no attachment there whatsoever. But then with others, think about Dahmer and that man, where like it was killing because he didn't want to be alone. He didn't want them to leave. And shit like that, like.
But wasn't the reason he got caught because him and this little lad were chasing each other bollock naked off the face on acid down the street.
That happened.
And then some old women had him for indecent exposure, not for the collection of skulls and other weird shit.
There was times when like some of the people got away and got to the police, and then like fucking he got them to pretty much give them back to him. It's like, oh no, it's all right. He's not very well. I'll take him back. And damn it, like, I'm sure that happened on one occasion. I might be chatting bollocks, but I'm pretty much sure that happened on one occasion. But like with the people like that, that's a very deep connection. Like that's a romance. Zombies, it's a love. Well, he was making people. He just wanted his people to be around him. He didn't want them to go away.
Yeah.
That's fucking strange.
Innit? I love being on my own, me.
I love being on my own, but I've also found if you want to keep people around, it's more key to have things like food or weed or like a telly or an Xbox.
Yeah,
like
incentive.
That people
rather than a power drill.
Yeah, and do you know what? They tend to be more chatty. They tend to be physically warmer. They tend to they tend to be more receptive.
Lobotomy. He's walking in the room. A couple of Black and Deckers.
Wee. He's doing the robot with him, isn't he?
Fucking John Smith advert.
What? And then just getting straight through, like, oh, stop messing about, Jeff, man.
Hair and flesh flicking off them all over the place.
Jeff, what the fuck have you been doing? Have you been hanging around with that taxidermist lad again? What are you doing with all that stuff? Oh, right. Oh, shit, no. So yeah, I think there's a difference there as well. Like, there's no set view of a victim. In some it's an enemy. In some it's a romance. In some it's like a savior. Like, I'm saving you from this person you are. You could be like, I'm going to release you into a better world. Like, blah blah blah. There's none. There's an extremely wide array of how killers treat or look or view upon their victims, if they view them as victims.
I don't know.
They could view them. No,
what about
some
contract
do.
Killers then?
Some will. Well, that's.
Do they just?
Yeah, that's.
Where would you class them with it? Because
they've
got to be hard to find.
I mean, look at. Have you ever seen the Iceman? Have you ever looked into the Iceman?
No, but I know about the Iceman. Again, another funny one. Could have gone about him for the first half.
Fucking very
hell, like
interesting.
his best mate. How he met his best mate.
How's that? How's that?
They were both in a hotel to do a job.
Oh, really?
They were both contract killers.
Don't know if I
Yeah, and
remember
they both
this.
tied each other up in the lift and went, "You here for me?" And the other one went, "I thought you was here for you, not here for me." Like, no.
Oh,
And then he went outside, and the one that wasn't the Iceman, which I fucking can't remember his real name, went out, and the other guy I think took him to his ice cream van. He's like, "I've got an ice cream van. Do you want an ice cream or something?" And they just had an ice cream and that, and had a chat about killing and stuff outside the hotel while they were both on the job.
fantastic!
Yeah,
Absolutely
and
fantastic.
it's
But
fucking weird. He's like, he said it's the perfect cover, having an ice cream van. No one suspects the ice cream van driver, and I know that's not true.
that's not true because
I
everyone
suspect
thinks,
ice cream
yeah,
van
yep.
drivers of a lot of things.
Ice cream van drivers are all nonsense. That's a fucking fact. There wasn't that,
Like drug deals.
didn't that, yeah, yeah. If you're in Scotland, they're drug dealers, and that's like proven history. There was ice cream van wars. So, like, there was, who was it? I'm sure there was a killer. There was a pair of people that worked together that drove around an ice cream van. One would drive around the ice cream van, and one would hide in like a compartment that was like in the van, but under the side of the van, and could look out upon victims of kids to snatch. This is
Like
legit.
when Batman can turn the Batmobile into the Bat Cycle, just
No,
lying down.
nothing like that
Nothing.
whatsoever. No, in no way, anything like Batman when the Batmobile turned into the Batcycle. There was just like a compartment where the ice creams would be. Say where the ice cream freezer was, it was shallower than usual, and in a box underneath there's a compartment where the bloke would spy out of, and they'd essentially choose victims to take.
But no one else knew that was going on. That's mental. Why
but-
not just do that from the passenger seat?
Going back, that's sort. Well, I suppose unless he was already like a notified nonce, and they were like, "Well, what's he doing in an ice cream van?" That's very obvious. We already thought you were both nonces, but now we definitely know you're a nonce because you're with a nonce.
Yeah, but they'd be out. The actual driver would be out more and more, and they'd be thinking, "He's with him. He's always out and about. He's always out. He's not just out at 4:30. He's out all through the day because
That's
there's not
hot.
much space in his freezer."
It's hot all the time. Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe he just doesn't sell any ice creams. He just constantly drives. He stops. They look at the kids, and then as they all come, he does the dickhead ice cream driver move where you drive away when there's still kids there. You're like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? And then he gets power out of you having to chase him down the street to flag him down. But back to the Iceman, the contract killer. I mean, he had a few screws loose anyway, didn't he? Like, he was already killing from a very young age, like animals and then people, for no reason whatsoever. He wants to prove. I'm sure they wanted, like, the mafia or whichever organised crime group he was working for at the time, wanted to sort of prove his dedication as a hitman. Like, they were having to talk to him. They were talking to him about it, and he just walked across the street and just shot some random bloke walking his dog and come back and was like, "Have I got the fucking job or what?" Like, there was nothing there when it came to his emotion towards ending human life. And I don't think he's not a contract killer. He's a killer that then decided to turn his
Turn professional.
Yeah, he decided to turn his talent into a business. Rather than someone that has essentially become a contract killer because they're skilled, say someone that, I don't know, say that they're paramilitary or etc., used to work in the forces, so they know how to kill because they've been trained how to kill. And then after that, they're like, right, well, I'm now going to become a hitman or whatever because I've trained and I've got this experience. He didn't have any of that. He was just a fucking big, massive hard cunt who, like, could kill people and was strong as fuck, so had no issue doing it, and there was no sort of switch in his head that went, "This is wrong, I shouldn't do this." So I think there's a difference there. He's a special breed of that. He happened to fall into the job, you could say. Like, he was born for that, but he didn't go
Right place, right time kind of thing in the most negative way possible.
Yeah, but he
Everything
didn't
just
start
fell
killing.
into place.
He didn't start killing for profit. Whereas I imagine most contract killers have always killed for profit. Yeah, there's probably some sort of kick there of taking out lives with some sick cunts. But
Or
I
even
imagine
the
most.
planning. Maybe the planning's the fun
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
for
yeah.
him.
Oh,
Wrecking a place and
course.
being like,
Like,
"Oh,
Right, well,
Bit
we'll
of
get
stalking to pass the
even the
time.
stocking up beforehand when you get to go and do all the gun shopping and you get the nice tactical clothing and some night vision goggles, shit like that. I don't know. Buy some bulletproof tires for your Land Rover Defender, whatever
And
you
a
want to do.
grenade just for a laugh.
Yeah, Claymore. I say like, hey, I've never even used one of these. Hey, what happens
Don't
if I
even know
pull
what
this
it
out?
does.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't drop that. Like that's got to be really fun. I imagine it's like real life GTA when you're just planning a heist. Same sort of crack. It's got to be proper buzzing. But I'd say they're interested. There's got to be a. It poses a question as to like, how do people that have got to kill people in a professional sense, like contract killers, or in a more legal in a sense, soldiers, how do they deal with the prospect and killing people if they're not doing it for the reasons that murderers, serial killers, and people like that do? Like they get either a kick. Murderers, serial killers, people who we would say get a kick or are doing it to fulfill some sort of fantasy or doing it to fulfill some sort of deranged prophecy they've got, things like that. Like, what's the difference in how they deal with the same thing? Because, like you say, you've got people that then continue, after they've done their service, will continue to do so in like either a private military sense or in a contract, in a hitman sense. Like, how do they deal with that if they haven't got the mental sort of
Well, a lot
mapping
of
that a
people
killer
probably
has?
don't, do they? That's what PTSD is. Fucking, like, just throws a wobbler in them. They're a bit fucking,
Yeah, but some
not
do.
quite here, not quite there. Two mindsets and that.
Some do though.
This,
Like there are definitely people out there that have been in forces that have killed people that don't have PTSD.
well, they might be taught then to compartmentalise in the army, or they've just got a natural talent for that, and that's why they join the army.
It's
Because if you
interesting
can
though.
do that, then that's a fucking skill to have that.
That's another one though. That's almost like if you were going to be, if you really wanted to, and this probably does happen. No, not probably. This definitely does happen to some degree, and you see it from the way that certain people act in war. Like there are definitely people that sign up to be part of the forces to live out that side of a dark personality legally. There
Yeah,
definitely
but I
is.
reckon a lot of them now are probably like sniffed out and either sent home or fucking put into a special program. Because you wouldn't want to put them with your regular soldiers because it'd scare the shit out of everyone else.
I don't know, man. You
Because you want
see,
to be able to control people and you want them to trust each other and believe that each other's going to help. If you've got some nutter there who just openly just admits, yeah, I just want to kill people that look a bit different to me. Yeah, I don't,
that
that's it really.
person's useful as fuck in a war, though, because they'll do exactly what you get to say if it means that they get the chance of killing people that they don't want to,
Yeah,
that
but
they
you don't
don't
want him
like.
in a group in a platoon of 16 other people or whatever it is who don't do that. You want a group of them.
It
Here's 40 of these mad cunts here.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. That definitely happens, and like you've seen that happen. Like there's evidence of that comes out of places like Iraq, Afghanistan, where you've seen troops just opening fire on villages of innocent people, like just literally for the crack. Talking about it, have you ever seen You might have the footage that was released as part of the I think it was part of the Snowden leaks to WikiLeaks. When it was the lads in an AC-130 talking about, or I think it was either an AC-130 or it might have been a helicopter, talking about taking people out. And it was a Reuters journalist and a couple of others they took out. And they're just joking about how they're massacring these people, and like then they're massacring people that have tried to save the victims. And it's just, there's no other word for it. It's people getting a kick out of it and then taking pride in the job. Really taking pride in the job.
I mean, you can't. Obviously, they shouldn't be fucking killing innocents, but you can't knock that they've taken pride in the job. But there's a bit there where it's they've got to have a laugh over it, haven't they? Some in one way or another to be able to sort of put it away in their head. And I know that's probably what you wanted me to say there, but they've got to be able to do that because otherwise they're going to drive themselves crazy.
With
And
things
they're
you've got,
already mental and dangerous.
with things you've got to do, yes. So when you've got to take out, if you're taking out an enemy, yes, I get that. I get that 100%. It's like any sort of shit work. You've got to deal with it, like, and you've got to deal with it somehow. And like I'm pretty sure it's fucking obvious by now. both of us deal with shit like that through humour, and
Yeah.
I'd expect that of everyone else. But I'm not talking about enemies. I'm talking about innocence.
No, but it's all like a game of chess, though, innit? You need them to expose their bishop, or whatever other religious leader. I've
No,
always wondered
in
in chess that they
cases
call them all bishops, but
in
if they
cases like
needed to
this,
expose a different, make that person play their hand, and it's like, well, we know that their kid goes to this school. We've done the research. We know that. So if we attack that school there,
I'm
and
not
we
even
know that,
talking about that. I'm talking about like people loose cannons documented as well. There's several instances of it, of troops not following orders, just
oh,
taking out like massive groups of innocents. Like,
well, that's a fucking crime, no, innit? That should
well,
be a
yeah,
crime.
100%. That is a crime. But I'm saying
Like,
that all I'm saying is that's examples of people that have gone
yeah.
into that. They have genuinely gone into the military to fulfill their dream of being like, if they'd stayed at home, they'd become Dharma, they'd become Ramirez, they'd become whoever. But instead, they've managed to go like the Iceman. We can fucking turn this into a business. I can get paid to do this, and I'm not going to face any sort of fucking repercussion. The instances that I've talked about, people have faced repercussion, but only because they've been fucking seen as war crimes, obviously.
Mm.
And not all of them they will have faced repercussion there either. I think we fucking know that.
Well, they wouldn't be able to, would they, really? Because that would be sort of an ownership, an admittance of, yeah, look how many. Imagine if that came out, mate, like, yeah, we were aware that this was going on. We've released a list. It'll be in tomorrow's newspaper. It'll be every page of the newspaper.
Yeah.
Follow us for Wednesday's paper, where it'll be Tuesdays and Wednesdays news.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mad one. Like, but it is interesting to think like those people that maybe we shouldn't fucking, if you really want an army, right? Stop sending good people over and people's kids that have got a chance in life over to different places to fight. Just pack up the killers. Like, they're already highly trained. They're already very efficient. PTSD is the fucking last of their worries. On their list of mental issues, PTSD is a fucking low, very low. It's sitting
Down there with anxiety.
Yeah, it won't figure. Like, trust us, they'll pay it no mind. They've already got the tools. Just let them get back to the evidence lockers. They'll be fucking fine. And just send them out. Imagine a platoon where you've got like Manson, Bronson. Yeah, Manson.
What,
Bronson,
just a team
Gacy.
of old men?
Yeah, maybe
a
not.
team of 80-odd-year-olds and a couple urns of ashes.
Maybe,
We
yeah.
brought in the specials. These are literally the Expendables.
yeah. They're all on Zimmer frames. Oh,
Yeah.
I fucking got you. I've got you. You're going to be mine. But yeah, we've got to pick more. Maybe me references weren't recent enough. We've got to pick younger ones. We've got to pick. The thing is, like, most of the ones that are around or have been around in the last few years that we could recruit tend to be at opposite ends of the sort of religious and ideological graph. So I don't think you could recruit, depending on which war you want to fight, I don't think you'd want to recruit those in your platoon. So you'd be like, oh yeah, we've signed Anders Breivik, that the Norwegian bloke who wiped out all those kids on that island in the name of like an Aryan race. We've signed him up, and we've sent him. He's got to carry out a very tough mission, and then he's got to wipe out no one. His targets are all white people. And it's like, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. I tell you right now, we've just dropped off Anders Breivik, and he just grouped those white people up and said he'd save them from the brown oppressors and started opening fire.
But though, what happens in a prison riot, though? I imagine the prisoners as prisoners against officers, isn't it? Like in that fucking experiment. So maybe there's still a little bit of like, oh, you're not with me, but you're also not one of them. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, kind of.
A little bit. You'll get wars within wars. You'd get fights within fights, obviously, because you'd have people that have been eyeing people up from different groups for a long time that would want to.
That could be useful though. If you send a group like that into enemy territory and they're like, fucking hell, these people have come here and they've just started, we've
Kicking
got
off
this
among
war going
themselves.
on here. Yeah, and they've started a
these,
fucking gang war,
these
mate,
mad
over
cunts
there.
have come here to fight themselves. I'm not
Yeah.
fighting them. I'm
No,
not. Those lot are
we've brought
fucking
them to war-torn,
twisted.
whatever.
Yeah.
They're not even equipped for this. Most
They're
of them
in
have never been in an arid desert, in an
They're
arid
in
condition.
Basra in orange jumpsuits and chains, and they're scrapping each other. They're not even bothered about the AK-47 gunfire that's coming over right now, or the tanks heading in their direction. They're bothered about who gets that last Mars bar, and they're not fucking stopping until it gets fucking resolved.
They just keep pointing at us though and measuring the necks and pointing at their own wrists.
Yeah, what's that mean? I don't know what that could possibly mean. They keep telling us to turn our pockets out and hold in their pockets. Why do they keep asking us to hold their pockets? Basically, what we should do is send all of our best prisoners, and especially all the gangster prisoners in America, across there, across to any country we've got issues with, to make that fellow rival armies, enemies, terrorists, whatever, their bitches by holding onto their pockets like they do in prison. And we'll essentially win wars one prison cell rape at a time. That's how I see it going forward.
It's a strategy.
It's
What if though? What if instead of using rape as a strategy, because it's a bit old, isn't it? It's a bit old hat using rape in war. It's a bit Viking-esque.
Oh no,
I'll tell you
it's
what
not. It's not old.
could
We've
never
been
have
doing.
done.
Go
The
on.
Vikings could never have gotten all of the old people that the families have forgotten, who were either in prison or in care homes, and just drop them out of planes like they used to do with them bats with napalm in.
Yeah. What are we going to drop them? What we're going to fill them with?
We don't have to fill them all with anything.
I was gonna. Yeah. To be honest,
You
an
just
old
hear the
person is
sort of
an old person is pretty toxic.
noise as like an old person's floating down towards you.
They're already rotten quite a bit, so I can imagine when that hits the deck, that's gonna stink for a start, and I imagine that rot's gonna probably cause some damage to some infrastructure as well. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad job.
Getting in the reds.
But the worst thing to do would be to drop them just back on their doorstep. Well, just on fine, because they'd hate that. They've been hiding them in nursing homes for years, and you just put them back outside and gone, here, they want you there. They've built a bedroom.
Yeah, it's not a coup though, is it? We're talking about different wars. You don't want to start like wars in the streets. All these grandmas turning up again. Oh, for fuck's sake, how have you got here?
Families committing mass suicide just to get away from them. They're like, oh, we
Just
tried to
leave
put her
the
away,
old
but she's
person
come
alone
back.
in the front room. Locking them in the car before they are in the back garden, driving the car around the back, locking them in the car, south-facing garden, mind you, make the most of it.
Oh yeah.
And then all going in to fucking top themselves, like, oh, she'll be dead in a day.
Sat there, lovely. It's lovely and warm in here. I'm always cold. It's nice and warm in here.
I can actually move my elbows. This is brilliant. Can't see out the windows though. Getting a bit cloudy out there. This mist is awful.
There's dogs trying to free her from a locked car in an
on the
ironic
car.
twist of events. There's a couple of Rottweilers are there trying to paw away, get the window off. Score, they've
Running round with
fucking
coat hangers.
owners left their granny locked in the car again. They always do that this time of year. It's a nightmare, to be honest.
I hate Christmas.
We best bark for attention. We've gone. We're eating into Chode's show, so we'll have to end. But yeah, again, smacked the tits off Killers.
Yeah, we did quite well. We've gone on a roll these past few weeks. I think it's best when we don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's even best when we planned what we were going to do and then completely forgot about it for a week. What should we do next week? We're not doing eggs.
There's no point. We won't even discuss it on here. I don't want to let people down.
We're not going to say anything. We've got an idea. It's coal. No, it's not coal. But Chode's up next. Liberal Paradise. Stay tuned for that. We're going to sign off. Take it easy. See you in a bit.
In a bit.